Joining us now is former FBI agent Scott Curtis. Scott, thanks so much for joining us. I know you've seen these newly released videos. How helpful could they potentially be for tracking down the person who committed this horrendous crime?
Well, I think it can help significantly, especially for people, friends, close friends and relatives of this individual there. If they've seen this video, they should be able to identify who this individual is. I know from personal experience, people that I surveilled, having known them in the past, I could identify them even with their backs turned to me just based on their silhouette and their posture and whatnot. So this should be very helpful. It's not ideal. I think the main goal of the investigators at this point is, can they continue to trace this individual's movements before the attack and after the attack, and can they place this person in a vehicle? I think that's going to be extremely helpful to the investigation.
It certainly will be. The FBI says, as you know, that the suspected shooter in these videos is, quote, approximately 5'8" with a stocky build. Those words. How important are those details when shared with the public?
It could be helpful. I think it's more helpful to have the actual video and images of this individual. And if they can come across any better images, I would hope that they would share those with the public, again, to expand the possible identification of people that may have run into this individual before or afterward. I think it's interesting this individual was in that area for 2 hours before the attack happened there, exposing himself and creating additional risk for himself. So what was he doing in those 2 hours between that video we saw yesterday and the actual attack?
Is there anything that stands out to you, Scott, about the video, like the person's gait, the walking, his nature in walking, or other details?
Yeah, I mean, again, people, close friends and relatives of this individual should be able to identify this person based on those characteristics, based on those traits there. Again, I have personally done that in my experience there, identified people just by the way they walked, by the way they moved about, by their silhouette, by their posture, mannerisms that they would have there. So any additional detail could help narrow the focus of who this individual is.
Hey, it's Pamela Brown. I have a question. What is the likelihood, though, that as we analyze the gait and other characteristics of this suspect, that the suspect could know that this is surveillance video and be pretending to walk a certain way, or, be doing things to kind of throw people off?
Well, that's for individuals that are coming in contact with that individual now, but people that know or may have known this individual in the past would know how he walked and how he acted based on their experience and their interactions with him. So it's going to be hard for him to, completely remain anonymous in this world.
It's now been about, 66 hours or so since the mass shooting. How critical is time becoming to finding the person who did this?
Well, again, as was put out there, this person is considered armed and dangerous. So you have to wonder, what else or who else this person may want to target or plan to target there. So the quicker that we can get this person identified and in custody, the public, especially in Providence there, will be relieved there and can go about their business and hopefully enjoy the holidays here coming up.
Yeah. And just to ask you, we just watch him pacing. I wonder what you make of that. And for my question earlier, I was thinking of the Usual Suspects movie, when at the end, suddenly Kevin Spacey is walking, and it was all an act before. So that's what made me wonder how much, how the likelihood of a suspect like this trying to do things to throw law enforcement off. But I mean, the pacing is odd, right?
Yeah, it's definitely significant, unique. Everybody has unique characteristics there that people notice, especially if you're in contact with those people on a regular basis there. What he was doing for 2 hours before, that's a good question. Based on my experience, I think that maybe he was waiting for either a certain person or certain conditions there to initiate this attack. That's why I would question of whether he knew somebody personally that he thought was going to be in that location at that time, and he was waiting for that time that he thought that that person would arrive to initiate this attack. But again, for 2 hours in that neighborhood there, he was taking a lot of risk exposing himself to somebody who may have reported him as a suspicious person in that area.
Former FBI agent Scott Curtis, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.